Hi, I'm Rob Singleton, and you've reached Ask Piro, which is an opportunity for you to hear the answers to some of the most troubling questions that people have today, or just confusing questions.
We're listening.
They're increasingly discouraged from even being asked. We are not afraid of them here. This is part 2. Does the Bible teach anything at all about critical race theory? Critical race theory is an outgrowth of critical legal studies, or CLS, which was a leftist movement and challenged traditional legal scholarship. I've found that somewhere on the web as a definition, but I agree with it or it wouldn't be here. According to the UCLA Luskin School of Public Affairs, here it is in a nutshell. Quote, CRT recognizes that racism is ingrained in the fabric and system of the American society. That's their theory anyway. The individual races need not exist to note that institutional racism is pervasive in the dominant culture. This is the analytical lens that CRT uses in examining existing power structures. CRT identifies that these power structures are based on white privilege and white supremacy. I'm trying not to laugh, but to paint all of a whole race with this broad of a stroke is racism. I digress. Let me continue. But as I was saying, based on white privilege and white supremacy, which they say perpetuates the marginalization, say that 3 times fast, of people of color. CRT also rejects the traditions of liberalism and meritocracy. Legal discourse says, UCLA goes on to say, that the law is neutral and colorblind. However, CRT challenges this legal truth by examining liberalism and meritocracy as a vehicle for self-interest, power, and privilege. Wow. Where to begin? How about here? Would you help us get the word out in a political and religious environment that increasingly seeks to muzzle truth, and especially conservatism and Christianity? If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please hit that subscribe button and the notification bell below this video in the right-hand corner. Or if you're listening via podcast, if you'd be willing to leave a 5-star review, that's the fastest, most effective way to get the word out. And the word about this channel is beginning to spread thanks to all of you. Let's keep telling people about Jesus and his word. Now, in part 1, we really further described what CRT is. In this second and final part, I want to talk just briefly about why it matters.
Like it matters? Oh, it matters.
And it matters a lot. So let me give you a whole host of reasons. First, it is all-encompassing, often presented with extremes such as all, everywhere, everyone, in every circumstance.
Who's left out there?
Too many.
I like the way I saw it succinctly and simply laid out, though, on the website newdiscourses.com. See them for more discussion on this, but here it is in a nutshell. CRT proponents are against a free society and feel wrongs can only be righted with authoritarian control. Think government knows best, as long as it's a left-wing government.
Nothing personal. It's just that we're better than you. Hey, Maurice, I'm open. Hit me.
It also relies upon what they call interest convergence, which is white people only give black people opportunities and freedoms when it is also in the interest of said white people. And therefore, it doesn't trust any attempt to make racism actually better, to do anything about it.
This changes nothing.
This is an example of the all, everywhere, everyone stuff that I've mentioned earlier, and it seeks to not only disassociate any contribution of guilt from entire races, see here, any race other than white, but also to attach guilt to an entire race from the worst to the best, even excluding the hundreds of thousands who fought to free slaves and paid the ultimate price with their life. It's as though that never happened. It also believes science, reason, and evidence are really a white way of knowing, and that storytelling and lived experience are a black alternative, which honestly, it hurts everyone, especially black people. First of all, this is a preposterous thing on its face and purports to present all white people as emotionless, robotic, mad scientists who rig the system, and all black people as caring, feeling people, uninterested in facts or data, but only in debating emotional arguments. It's racist to lump whole races into groups like this with outcomes like this. And it's not a racial truth at all, but ironically, very much a hard left doctrine.
Hard left.
Now, it also goes on to say, rejects all potential alternatives like colorblindness as just forms of racism, making itself the only allowable game in town, which is totalitarianism.
Take a number.
Goes on to say it acts like everyone who disagrees with them must do so for racist and white supremacist reasons underneath the surface, even if those people are black, which is also totalitarian. Example, shouldn't we address the statistically genocidal levels of killing in regard to black abortions and in the close second of black on black murder? Answer, racist. Therefore, there are many good reasons that have nothing to do with real racism to reject most of what CRT espouses. There are simply better alternatives. Nearly any other alternative is better for reconciliation than the revenge attempt that CRT is ultimately revealed as being. I would also add, any societal solution that basically seeks to right a situation through revenge and shaming is a society on the verge of collapse. For example, slavery is wrong. So how can marginalizing and demonizing another entire race be the solution when it was originally the problem? Well, answer, it can't. That simply goes round and round and round, like the Palestinians and Israelites, or the Hatfields and McCoys, and there's never a real solution. And that's what happens in critical race theory. So you've been watching Ask Piro. I'm Rob Singleton. Until next time, peace.